Good morning, YouTube. So this is property number 3, I believe. This one, Jacob's going all around to blow, but very minimal blowing and stuff. There's nothing really to do. Sorry, I had to put that guy away, but yeah. So this and next week will be the last time we'll be out bi-weekly because we are switching over to monthly because grass is already slowing down. Leaves are starting to fall. In some areas, it's falling more than others. But yeah, season's coming to an end. I did get a couple comments asking why I keep saying the season's coming to an end, and I don't think they realize that where I'm at, grass does not stay green all year round. So I mean, you can already see that once that's already kind of turning brownish. But yeah, normally October is the last month we're out because once the temperatures drop, November, December, January, February, it gets cold enough where we don't get, it doesn't get cold enough where we'll get snow, but it gets cold enough where it'll pretty much make the grass go dormant. And then come towards towards April is when the grass starts to wake up. It comes out of dormancy and we're out working pretty much. But I start in March. It's just part of business where I'm at. You know, it sucks that we can't cut all year round. Part of me would love to cut or switch to keep going bi-weekly during the colder months. But my area does not work like that. You know, we're at the mercy of Mother Nature. And it's in one of those situations where it is what it is. I know California and Florida, you guys cut all year round, which I'm jealous. But this is why, I budget. And I think, if you want to keep growing in my area, you have to either lock in your clients on a contract, and have their card on file, bill them at the beginning of the month. And that's the only way you'll keep growing and make this into like a bigger business. And I think that's what a lot of us smaller lawn care providers struggle is, how do we get out of that? And the only way you're going to get out of that is by learning year after year to just keep improving your business models, implement new policies, change policies. And that's what I'm doing. And I honestly think that's why a lot of lawn care providers go out of business or they throw in the towel, because it is discouraging. And I'm sure if I'm going through these feelings or through these emotions, I know some of y'all are, and maybe you guys are like me where you just keep it inside and you try to act like it doesn't bug you, but it does. And ultimately you get to the point where you just throw in the towel. But a little bit about, what happened with me last year. So during 2024, I ended up with 60 clients. And towards winter, around this time last year, I lost around 30 clients. And pretty much 2025 this year, I started with those 30 clients and we ended up at 70. So, just keep going. It'll get better. And it does get better. For me, I'm still making more money than I've ever had working for anyone else. It's just a process, it's just, like I said, it's just like a roller coaster of emotions, ups and downs. And just learn, if you feel if you feel some type of way, or if you get upset that your clients are constantly canceling you, asking to be skipped, or if they drop you like they're, like if you're dropping me now, change it. Change your policies, change your clients, drop them. And I know when you first start off, you really don't want to be dropping them, because at the end of the day, it's still money. And you don't want to be leaving money on the table. But, you get to a point where it's okay to leave that money on the table, because down the road you're going to be getting more. And it's kind of like a catch-22. If you keep taking this money right now, it's actually stopping you from getting more money in the future. So it's like a fine line of where you want to make sure you draw that line where it's okay, I'm going to be doing this my first and second year, but my third year moving forward, I'm going to implement better models, better policies and whatnot. But, like I said, you just got to keep growing each year and learn from your mistakes. So far, I've had 3 people tell me to pretty much, I'll see you next year. And obviously, those 3 people, I'm not going to sign up. Because it does suck. It gets you in your own head, seeing oh, is my business going to ever
be successful. And I you know, overall my business is successful. But, you know, you still feel some type of way, even though you shouldn't, because it's just part of the game. But I know once I get rid of these clients and stick to my fundamentals, you know, just let the new clients that do understand my business model kind of like take care of the business and just keep, you know, doing what I'm supposed to do. Keep being out here, being reliable, communicate with them and not over communicate with them. But yeah, just one of those days where just in a funk, but I'll get out of it again. So we are finishing up this one. There goes blowing. But I'm sure this is something that like a lot of new guys go through. I'm still new. I mean, this is my second year going full time. My business is still a baby. So that's why, you know, I'm being transparent with y'all on what's going on over here at Wheezy Weeds. But it sucks, man. It does suck. But, you know, I'm getting better, and I know people that have been doing this a lot longer kind of went through this, and then hopefully, you know, they'll put their comment down there what works for them. For me, it inclines me to like keep pushing billing at the beginning of the month. And what I do now is I tell them, like, when they sign up with me or when they want a quote, I tell them like, hey, during the off season, we're out here once a month, you know, and I try to be direct with them, tell them, you know, I think it's fair, and ultimately that's how I stay in business. And if they don't want to do that, please don't sign up with me, because you are taking a slot that someone that would be okay with my services or with my business model. And for me, there's a lot of companies out there that go bi-weekly all year round. I'm not like them, because I don't want to be out here bi-weekly not doing anything. It would be different if grass was growing and we were actually doing something. But once all these leaves fall, like, there's no need for me to be out here. So I empathize with clients like that, you know, on that side. But the flip side is, if I want to stay in business, I need to be out here at least once a month. That way I pay all my bills, give Jacob a few hours, and it's a win-win situation in my eyes. And there's some people that will agree with me, and there's some people that won't agree with me. And they're like, I'm not going to pay for a service that when you're not doing anything. I'll just find someone else that stops coming out during winter. And that's fine too. But, you know, for me, I just tell them, like, if that's how you're going to be, just don't sign up with me, you know. And if they do, then come next year when they reach out to me, I'll just be like, no, we're fully booked, or just tell them, no, unfortunately, we can't add you back to the schedule, and it is what it is, you know, no hard feelings. But anyways, like always, like, subscribe. I appreciate y'all.